Alright, so we're going to do lessons 2-2 today, which is greater than. Our I can statement is I can tell whether one group is greater in number than another group. So let's continue to our solve and share.
Which group of balls has more? How do you know? Show your work.
So looking at this picture here, which group of balls do you think have more? Let's count our soccer balls. Our soccer balls are the black and white balls. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 soccer balls. So let's look at our basketballs. Our basketballs are our orange balls. So how many basketballs do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 3 basketballs. So if we have 4 soccer balls and 3 basketballs, which ball do you think have more balls than the other? Do the soccer balls have more? Is there more soccer balls than there are basketballs? If you said there are more soccer balls than basketballs, then you're correct because there are 4 soccer balls and 3 basketballs. So let's continue. Let's do our visual learning video.
How can you compare the number of soccer balls and basketballs? You can match them 1 to 1. What does the picture show? There is 1 soccer ball that does not have a match. The groups are not equal. There are a greater number of soccer balls than basketballs. How are these 2 pictures alike? The balls are matched 1 to 1. The group that has a greater number of balls has a circle around it. How are they different? The second picture shows the balls are stacked on top of one another instead of side by side. Now look at these groups. How do you compare the number of soccer balls to the number of basketballs? To compare, you match 1 to 1. There is an extra soccer ball that can't be matched. Draw a circle around the group of soccer balls.
All right. So it says select each soccer ball to compare the number of soccer balls to the number of basketballs. So we have 1, 2. Is it going to let me click it? 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So let's continue. So let's work on our guided practice. So this lesson is pretty much almost like our 2-1 lesson. We talked about equal to on our 2-1 lesson. So now we're talking about greater than. So let's read our directions. For 1 and 2, have students draw lines to match objects from one group to the other group. Have them draw a circle around the group that is greater in number than the other group and explain why they are correct. So let's do number 1 together, and I want you to do number 2 on your own. Okay? So we have tennis balls, which are the green and white balls, and we have footballs. So let's draw a line from the tennis ball to the football. So we have 1, 2. Okay? So how many tennis balls are there? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right? There are 4 tennis balls here. All right? How many footballs are there? 1, 2. That's 2. We have 4 tennis balls, 2 footballs. Which ball has the greatest number? Meaning, which ball has more of them than the other? Do you think footballs have more than the tennis balls? No. The tennis balls have more balls in them than the footballs. So we have 4 tennis balls and 2 footballs. So that means we need to circle the tennis balls. All right, let's continue. All right, let's do another guided practice page. On this page, you have 3 problems. And it says for 3 through 5, have students draw lines to match objects from one group to the other group. Have them draw a circle around the group that is greater in number than the other group, and then explain why they are correct. All right, so I'm going to do number 1 for you, and then I want you to work on numbers 4 and 5 on your paper by yourself to see if you know how to identify what is greater than something else. Okay, so let's draw our lines. We have 3 baseballs, 1, 2, 3, and we have 1 golf ball. All right, so we draw our line. All right, so can we draw a line for this one or this one? No, because there are not any tennis balls there. So what do? We make a circle around the number that has the greatest amount of balls. Okay, so let's circle. All right, and so I want you to do the same for numbers 4 and 5. I want you to draw your line to it, and I want you to count which one has the most. Why did it do that? Okay, I don't know why I did that. All right, I want you to draw a line to it and which one has the most. If it has the most, I want you to circle it. So I just did number 4 for you, so I want you to do number 5 on your own. All right, let's move on to our independent practice. For your independent practice, you have 4 problems, and I'm going to work 1 out for you. For numbers 6 through 8, have students draw lines to match objects from one group to the other group. Have them draw a circle around the group that is greater in number than the other group, and then explain why they are correct. Okay? So, let's see. It says draw a line to match objects from one group to another group. So, let's do number 7. We can do number 8. Okay, so we have 1, 2. All right. So it says have them draw a circle around the group that is greater in number. So if we have 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, which number is more, 3 or 2? 3. So we're going to make a circle around the 3 volleyballs. Okay, and you'll do the same for 6 and 7, and for number 9, the students will draw a group of counters in the bottom 5 frame that is greater in number than the group of counters in the top 5 frame. Have them explain their drawing. So let's see. I have 3 counters in that 5 frame. So if I put 1, 2, 3, 4, is that more than what is in the top 5 frame? Yes. And how can I explain that it's more? I put 5, I meant 4. So how can I explain that? Okay, so that's what I want you to do. I want you to put how it's 3 counters there. I want you to give me what would be more than 3. So 4 or 5, and I want you to put those counters in there, and then I want you to tell me how. Okay, and that'll be all for our lesson for greater than for lessons 2-2. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your teacher. Thank you.